All right, let's dive right into this explainer on Immortal Realm's absolute ultimate underground fixer build, the Velvet Hand template. If you've ever wanted to manipulate the shadows, bend the rules of the realm totally to your will, and act as a master operator rather than just another frontline fighter, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to meticulously unpack the stats, the grueling training, and the incredibly lucrative operations of this completely unique counter-civic playstyle. Here's our tactical roadmap for today. First up, we'll define the Velvet Hand concept. Then we'll build out your stealth operative, look at your operation tracks, and detail the long climb up the order ranks. Finally, we'll cover how to fund these covert ops and, most importantly, how to actually survive in the shadows. Starting with Section 1, the Velvet Hand concept. Uncovering the underground fixer. Because before you start grinding out those skills, you really need to understand the entity you're joining. When you first look at a build that requires 100 points in stealth, hiding, and snooping, it's super common to ask this exact question. You're probably wondering, am I just going to be spending my days picking pockets in the town square and stealing loose change? Well, absolutely not. You are a high-stakes fixer manipulating the realm's civic infrastructure, not some petty thief. The Velvet Hand isn't about swiping items from players. You're going after the civic state itself. You're actively interfering with bounties, breaking high-value targets out of prison, and declaring full-blown raids. You're a calculated operator disrupting the very systems that govern the realm. Moving to Section 2, building your stealth operative, the 700-point operator loadout. To pull off these massive heists, your stat loadout has to be absolutely flawless. You have a strict 700-point cap, and every single point needs to be ruthlessly optimized. The absolute most crucial point here is capping your core stealth, hiding, and lockpicking at exactly 100. Operating with low stealth is literally operational suicide for this build. You have to move completely unseen. You'll back that up with 100 dexterity for max casting and lockpicking speed, 75 strength so you don't fold instantly, and 50 intelligence for utility magic. Snooping gives you vital reconnaissance, while Magery, resist spells, and wrestling form your emergency defensive core for when things inevitably hit the fan. Maxing all that out? Yeah, that's a 100 to 200 hour journey. You'll want to follow a clear progression, use basic NPC trainers to hit 30, aggressively push stealth and hiding to 80, and then practice on chests. What's cool is you officially join the hand around step 4. Just find a hand-flavored NPC in any major city and accept the code. Simple as that. Then you finish up your survival skills and grind to Grandmaster. Now, let's manage expectations for a second. This build is completely operations-leaning. If an op goes sidewise, your Magery and rustling are purely there to keep you breathing long enough to pop a smoke bomb and vanish. You are not a frontline combatant. If you want pure damage and realm domination, you gotta stick to dedicated PvP mage or warrior builds. Seriously, do not try to fight the entire town guard. Let's hit Section 3, choosing your operation track. Prison, writs, and raids. Once you're fully initiated, you won't be doing random errands. You'll specialize in underground tracks to systematically disrupt the realm. Track number 1 is Prison Disruption. As you rank up, your extraction capabilities become insane. At the Walker rank, you can just bribe guards to shave off sentence time. Hit the Reach rank, and you can literally crack a cell open for a protected release. And at Whisper, you're orchestrating high-speed smoke bomb escapes. You basically become the realm's ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card. Next up is Writ Disruption. This is where you get to actively mess with bounty hunters. As a walker, you use Writ Smoke to arbitrarily tack on extra time to a bounty claim window. So frustrating for the hunters. At Reach, you can scrub a target's name right off the board. And at Whisper, you can maliciously redirect a bounty target to a consenting ally, completely breaking the civic justice system. Finally, we've got the Explosive track. Once you hit the Sleeve rank, you unlock the ability to craft raid deeds. And these aren't just cosmetic pieces of paper, they are mechanical declarations used to target seated relic guilds. This completely elevates you from a local nuisance to a major political player in the larger guild wars. Which brings us to Section 4, climbing the order ranks. Time, service, and the ladder. Unlocking top-tier stuff like raid deeds requires crazy dedication. The order demands a constant stream of service points and a massive time commitment. Take a look at this number, 75. That is the absolute minimum number of days you must hold your ranks to climb from entry-level walker up to the hand. You cannot rush this. The system forces you to live the lifestyle, prove your loyalty over months, and really earn your stripes. Here's how the ladder actually breaks down. You need to accumulate service points from successfully completing Velvet Operation records. You're also dealing with strict hold time gates, starting at 3 days for reach and ballooning up to 30 days for the hand. Oh, and every single promotion requires passing an in-game exam that slaps you with a brutal 24-hour retake cooldown if you mess it up. Section 5. Funding your covert operations. Making operations profitable. The good news? Mastering this brutal 200-hour Grandmaster grind comes with some serious financial payouts. Premium services mean premium rates. You transition from practicing on starter chests for pennies to charging massive, totally non-refundable filing fees. Need a name scrubbed? That'll be 1,000 gold. Redirecting a target? 1,500. Crafting a rage deed? A staggering 2,000 gold per deed. And remember, if you scrub a writ, the person who placed the bounty doesn't get a refund. Hey, that's just the cost of doing business in the shadows. Finally, Section 6, Surviving in the Shadows. Mitigating risks and mistakes. To keep this highly lucrative career going, you have to avoid detection. The civic layer wants to hunt you down, and pitfalls are literally everywhere. You have got to avoid these rookie mistakes. Don't overcomplicate joining the hand by treating it like a roleplay gauntlet. Just take the code from the NPC. More importantly, never, and I mean never, attend civic events while holding active operations. The game's records will flag you, and civic NPCs will swarm you. And obviously, don't operate without Grandmaster stealth, and don't try to stand your ground in pure PvP. But if you're smart, the system heavily rewards your momentum. Successfully disrupting a prison or a writ triggers an amazing post-operation stealth buff. You get a temporary hiding and stealth bonus that scales with your rank, giving you an extra 10 to 20 points for 5 solid minutes. It's a brilliant mechanic that totally encourages you to chain your ops back to back. And you need to keep the hand's core code burned into your brain. A failed operation is a confessed operation. Careless failures leave mechanical traces behind. They stack up mortal shock on your character, and eventually that will completely blow your cover, turning you from the hunter into the hunted. Precision is absolutely everything here. So, that brings us to the final question for this explainer. Do you have the precision, the patience for a 75-day climb, and the sheer mechanical skill to rule from the shadows? The Velvet Hand offers unparalleled control over the Immortal Realm, but just one wrong step, and you're nothing but another name on the bounty board. Thanks for hanging out with me for this deep dive.